Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So how do you guys feel about your investments right now? I mean, I'm not just talking about your cryptocurrency investments, I'm talking about everything. Here's Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan. Listen to this.
It's a hurricane. Right now it's kind of sunny, things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy or Sandy or Andrew or something like that. And it's you better brace yourself.
Ouch. This was JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon talking about the economy right now. Kenwood Capital also just bringing up this article with regards to that same point. JP Morgan is bracing itself for an economic hurricane. So Jamie Dimon is saying that the economy is struggling against an unprecedented combination of challenges, including tightening monetary policy and Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. That hurricane is right out there, coming down the road, as he mentioned in that video clip. Storm clouds are looming over the U.S. economy, but he says he's since updated that forecast given the challenges faced by the Federal Reserve as it attempts to rein in inflation. Right now, it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle it. Dimon said, but he said on Wednesday, which was just yesterday, that JP Morgan is preparing for that turbulence by being conservative with its balance sheet. Here's another quote. I kind of want to shed non-operating deposits again, which we can do in size to protect ourselves so we can serve clients in bad times. That's the environment we're dealing with. So the CEO of JP Morgan, not looking terribly optimistic right now. And Bitcoin, although we did see a bit of an uptick yesterday, we are now seeing Bitcoin price come right back down. I'm thinking, Bitcoin, the trend that we're seeing, at least in the short term, is looking very similar to what we saw right after this dip here back in May of 2021. Last year, we saw this initial dip. We did see a bit of a recovery. And so what are we going to see next? Are we going to see a lower low? That is the question. We saw that back last year, but you guys can see over here, it's looking very, very similar. We saw that, boom, another uptick. But then the question is, what do we see next? And do we hold somewhere around here, $24,000, $25,000 per BTC? Right now, BTC is trading just shy of $30,000 at $29,985 per coin. Nevertheless, we are seeing more adoption for cryptocurrencies in the U.S. market. Chipotle is now accepting cryptocurrency in U.S. stores. This is coming from XRP Crypto Wolf. Chipotle, the popular Mexican-style fast food chain, will now accept cryptocurrency payments through Flexa, a digital payment platform. Flexa supports around 98 currencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. Customers can use the app to pay for food items in any of nearly 3,000 Chipotle restaurants in the United States. So that's interesting. Again, more Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption for use of payment. And I think, considering this has been, over the last 2 years, there's been a record number of people now invested in cryptocurrency. And I mean, if we are going to face the turmoil of what Jamie Dimon predicts the economy, or rather in which direction he predicts the economy is going, then maybe some of these people who may have invested more than they can afford to lose might need to actually utilize their cryptocurrency, maybe not cash out of it into US dollars, but these types of applications could be to their benefit. You can use your cryptocurrency as a form of payment. So, let's say you got in to Bitcoin back in 2020 when the price was still less than it is today. September 2020, let's just say, when it was $10,000 per coin, and now it's at $30,000 per coin. Well, it's gone up 200% still. So you are still up 2/3 on your investment. So whatever you buy in 2022, if you paid for it in September of 2020 dollars and it is in Bitcoin, you are actually paying 1/3 of the price of what it is today. So for every $3 that you spend today, you're actually only spending $1. I hope I have the math right there. But that is how you hedge against inflation with cryptocurrency purchases. And I did a video. I didn't go into depth in this video. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Maybe I should redo it and update it to give you guys a little bit more detail if that concept is still fairly foreign to you. Anyway, here's where we are today. Bitcoin still holding on. Let's bring up XRP real quick. XRP trading at 39.5, 39.6 actually. So, XRP still also holding on, coming down off that same high that we saw. As we saw Bitcoin rally, we saw altcoins rally as well, and XRP is also coming down from 43 cents yesterday. Also saw this guy's from Jamie Nix here on Twitter. XE Currency Exchange. I don't know if you guys use them. I didn't realize this. XE.com is a Canada-based online foreign exchange tool and services company headquartered in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I downloaded this app years ago now, and I use them for my currency exchange rates just quickly on the fly. But now they are actually including cryptocurrency, some of the top cryptos, including XRP, XLM, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and ADA. I don't know if there are any others there, but that is XE. I believe they did have a website. This company's been around for a long time. They had a website even before the app was created. So I thought that was interesting news. And the fact that they're based in Newmarket, Ontario. Interesting choice. Now, just yesterday, I did a video, June 7th. We are going to get some more information. There's going to be another conference in New York. And if you guys didn't catch yesterday's video, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. And I was wondering, is there going to be call-in information? Well, apparently there is. Call-in information for the conference scheduled for June the 7th is in this document here. So there's another document released, and here's the call-in information if you guys are interested in calling in. Don't know if there's going to be a cap. I believe there have been caps of 4,000, I think, 4,000 people. Notice down here, unauthorized recording and rebroadcasting of the conference, i.e. or e.g. via YouTube, Twitch, audio-only streams, etc. is strictly prohibited. So guys, don't go in there thinking you're all cute, recording the conference and posting it on YouTube or what have you. Or do it and take the risk. I mean, that's up to you. And so Jeremy Hogan here is taking bets on whether the SEC will argue Hinman's speech. And here are the options. 1, they'll argue that it was his personal speech. 2, they'll argue that it was the division's speech. 3, the SEC's opinion at the hearing. Place your bets now. So Jeremy Hogan being a little cheeky with this post. Anders L down here posting it was Hinman's neighbor's daughter's position, and that's their story, and they're sticking to it. XRP Big Brother down here saying, yeah, and his neighbor's daughter's position is protected under attorney-client privilege. Martin Vol down here with the meme footage, actual footage of the SEC and Hinman throwing Hinman under the bus. I mean, I guess anything is possible, really. So let's get some insight here on what could happen from some of the XRP community lawyers. This from Bill Balasarius here on 20. Balasarius 2020 is his handle. It is not a do-over. He's responding here to Stefan Hubert's tweet. Am I right? Please tell me Netburn won't let the SEC do a do-over. This would mean she wasted one entire year for absolutely nothing at all. So there's a bit of a concern here that the SEC is going to be granted a do-over on their position, obviously the speech position. And so Bill here is stating, no, it's not a do-over of the issue of whether the speech was his personal opinion. The SEC knows the judge has pinned them to the speech being Hinman's personal opinion. It is settled, in quotes. The SEC is trying to say two things that allow that to stand while allowing space for attorney-client privilege to operate despite the speech containing Hinman's personal views. So they kind of want to have their cake and eat it too, it sounds like. Firstly, SEC differentiates the process that brought about the speech from the speech itself as delivered. In respect of the process, the SEC alleges that Hinman, in his official capacity, sought and received feedback about his apparently personal views from SEC attorneys. Sounds a little convoluted or maybe contrived. So, if that sounds like having your cake and eating it too, or mere semantics, or being too smart by half, you will not find any argument from me. So, Bill is kind of agreeing here. In his official capacity, this is from a statement from the SEC, and in non-public communications with SEC lawyers, Director Hinman confidentially provided and sought feedback about his views on whether offers and sales of digital assets, including Ether, constituted securities transactions. The comments on the speech reflect those confidential views and communications. And there's a lot more documentation here pointing to the inconsistencies. Second, the SEC argues that although the delivered speech was Hinman's personal views, it reflects the advice of SEC attorneys, and the SEC had a shared interest in the speech being accurate and consistent with that advice. I think these arguments are nonsense, but the judge has to deal with them in circumstance in which there is a lack of evidence from the SEC to satisfy the burden of proof that legal advice was sought and provided. Neither Hinman nor any of the multiple attorneys involved have provided a declaration on oath that Hinman sought and obtained legal advice. At best, the SEC seems to expect the judge to draw inferences from the final speech itself. It makes the need for an in-camera review of each speech document inevitable, as the documents on their face are the best evidence available to the judge to decide whether attorney-client privilege claim is maintainable. So I think the in-camera review will be raised by the judge on June 7th. That coming again from Bill, and he's tagging the other lawyers here in this tweet thread. So Bill giving his perspective. Of course, we know, and I believe I mentioned this a few months ago, Stéphane Hubert also just bringing this up, reiterating this fact. You just have to imagine it. Is this really the point where we have ended up now, SEC? And he's posting this, well, the SEC is claiming that William Hinman was a client of theirs and not actually a part of their team. The long-running legal battle between the SEC and Ripple is still going on. A fresh meeting between the SEC and Ripple attorneys has been arranged. This is done by, okay, so just giving us some information here. Further down in the article, they're stating that Bill Hinman was indeed a employee of the SEC, but here it's stating Hinman was a client of SEC attorneys, according to the agency. They provided him with legal assistance on digital assets legal status as his speech complied with federal securities laws. The SEC claims that because courts have previously recognized government officials as customers, this should be the case this time. And where was it? Was it up here? They claim that he was not actually an employee. Bill Hinman, SEC employee at the time at the FinTech Week conference in June 2018. No, it wasn't there. What I think it is that they're trying to differentiate between a full-time employee of the SEC and a hired contractor, perhaps giving their advice, hired to give their advice to SEC commissioners. So maybe there is a legality there that they are now trying to claim. So he was a client, although a client wouldn't be the right term either. Anyway, the SEC here just grasping, I think, and Stéphane Hubert also, just noticing that. Are they trying to have their cake and eat it too? And here's another question. Did they have this planned all along? For example, they think to themselves, okay, if we have to go to court, let's tell them one of two things. And if plan A doesn't work, well, we'll go with plan B. So could the SEC actually have devised a calculated plan in that case? Well, I found this interesting. Fred Rispoli here on Twitter. I just spent the last hour or so reviewing Hinman's declaration and the deposition transcript we have from Exhibit to Doc 300 on this date here, which was August 17th, 2021. Again, although I do not think NetBurn allows the SEC to change its position on whether the speech was Hinman's personal opinion, there still is a chance. So he is responding to Valik's tweet down here. He swore under oath. How do you get a do-over? So going back to that question, will he get a do-over, yes or no? So here's Fred Rispoli's position. Why? Because his declaration is, like I believe his persona to be, weaselly. Paragraph 7 states that he has no first-hand knowledge of facts of the lawsuit, then states in paragraph 10 he was involved in a number of internal commission meetings about the lawsuit. So some inconsistencies there. Regarding the speech on paragraph 13, yes, it was my own personal view. So stating it flat out, it was his own personal views, but prepared with other commission employees as part of the commission's ongoing deliberations. So again, having an argument here where he could have his cake and eat it too. Although I am greatly troubled by the emails from the SEC to Hinman about his known ongoing financial conflicts of interest, he's not dumb. His declaration was rehearsed and went through many drafts with SEC attorneys before the final product. Looking back now, the SEC was actually smart. It came up with a document that allowed it to straddle both sides. If plan A, speech was his personal opinion, went belly up. And so now we're seeing that actually happen. Plan A did fall apart, so now it's on to plan B for the SEC, focusing on how the speech was actually more SEC work than Hinman's work. So you see what they're doing here. They're giving plausible deniability that the speech could have been fully his personal opinion if the court was favorable to that side. But if it was going to be scrutinized, well, no. I mean, it was his personal opinion, but he did, consult members at the SEC. So trying to straddle both sides, obviously a plan A and a plan B, and reviewing the pieces of the deposition transcript we have, the excerpts about edits to the speech were rehearsed enough between Hinman and his handlers that he had no idea why Seaman made some edits. But his testimony fell into the classic trap All deponents hit when trying to hide something. He can't remember anything about his job except in vivid, laser-like detail that he told Ripple XRP was a security. So that, at least for Fred Rispoli, is where it falls apart. Everything he's been asked about with regards to his time there from 4 years ago, he can't remember except for this important point here. Ripple XRP was a security. And Fred Rispoli bringing up a great point here. Juries never tend to buy that argument. Kevin Fallon down here responding, as a matter of record, the SDNY, Sarah Netburn, having insisted that it reflected Hinman's personal views, the SEC cannot now reject its own position. The speech was not an agency communication, and the deliberations as to its content are not protected by the privilege. And Fred Rispoli responding, this ruling is why it's unlikely to be a complete reversal, but she can buy the SEC's arguments that the speech was, I'm making fun of the SEC here, a trade secret, part Hinman, part CorpFin, part SEC. Remember, she already granted the SEC to make redactions in light of her DPP ruling. So yes, noticing some important points here about Judge Netburn and how she's been handling the case. Also pointing out the SEC could have had a plan A and a plan B in their back pocket had this issue come up, and sure enough, fast forward to 2021, 2022, it did, and now they're trying to play both sides. Of course, there is still the question of, will they win? Will a jury believe them if they decide to go to trial? Or could we see a summer settlement? Settlement likely if, the case is so far gone, falling apart to a degree that, the SEC wouldn't be able to scramble and pick up the pieces. So some interesting points here. Of course, once we do get the clarity, I mean, that's going to be great. And if it's timed with a market collapse, as per, Jamie Dimon mentioned here at the top of the video, coming into turbulent times, the timing is going to be interesting. Fifi here on Twitter posted this: if you want to know when XRP moons, it is entirely dependent on the debt market implosion. Then and only then will the mountains of cash move its way into commodities. SEC case will be resolved shortly thereafter. Wait for the US 10-year to spike uncontrollably. And guys, that's when we're going to have our XRP moonshot. So a lot of this hinges on the timing. Of course, the SEC lawsuit probably going to get resolved sometime around the point when we're going to need XRP most. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.